I'm down.
I have
There's a guy
no
here,
idea where he's at, but he was on B. Probably C connector.
They're going C. Carbureting in front of you. Careful. Just wait for him, don't move. Just wait. Wait, it's not moving.
Two down? Yeah, I got two down over on Bravo.
Here's some big things that I saw. First things first is communications. So callouts of minus, and I think it sounds like during the match there's a bit of a mix-up between when you die and when you kill someone. When you kill someone, you always say either minus or -1, or I got him, or something, right? You don't just say, down. Because when you say I'm down, that is generally used for when you are dead or are killed. Okay? So if I shoot somebody, bam, bam, he's dead, -1, or minus, right? And then you have, okay, so then the IGL, okay, 4 up, or whoever wants to be it, right? So, but when you say just kind of like down, for all I know, you could be dead, and you don't know what's going on. And when it comes to competitive, knowing what's going on is extremely important. Not knowing what's going on and where people are at and where the enemy is at will lead to utter failure. Because when you don't know what's happening, they're gonna flank around and they're gonna do some damage. Let me explain something. So about competitive insurgency, and it's about playing lanes and stuff. So Carbrain, I know you did really good locking down Barber and stuff here. You did a really good job keeping this in here, right? You had that really good. The problem is when you're in here, you're leaving a little spot open. This one over here. And when you leave this spot open, they can flank around Charlie and flank through Barber here. And while you will get the guy pushing this way, they'll look in here, they won't see anybody, and they'll just probably head out and go around C-scanning and kill the sniper guy, right? So if you're playing Barber, what I'd recommend doing is either one of two places. One of them could be back here, where you sit kind of like so, and watch it this way. You're watching the backside. Or you can go over and play it at Kebab over here. It's a really nice spot. Where you sit right here, and you kind of watch Barber from over here. It's really, really nice. You're pretty much safe. You're not going to get flanked around over here unless the guy Shops dies, who should call it out if he dies. So it's a really good safe spot to play. It's really, really easy, and you can just get 2 shots. So okay, so where you were playing at before, over in here, the problem with this is, while you will generally kind of stay safe for the most part, the problem is you're kind of turtle shelling in, and when you're sitting there like that, you can't really defend Charlie at all from here. So if you're gonna play Charlie, the spots I'd recommend are the one Barber over here, or sorry, in Kebab, right on the side of this little fence here. You just kind of align right here, sit, you kind of watch. You can watch people pushing this way or this way, keep them safe. And if you're not sure, or it's Charlie, or if you hear somebody kind of going over there, you can shoot through here. Also, if you're sitting there, though, make sure your C-sniper guy up here is aware of that. So if he's sitting and playing up here, you should kind of keep in mind to occasionally look, or at least listen to try and hear if they're pushing over there to Charlie. So, but for the most part, most people don't really rush C-skinny too much unless you make it apparent that you're not playing there. So, and on that first round there, Root did throw the Charlie skinny grenade up here. Gotcha. So, best way to counter that, by the way, is to, when you're running in here, if you see it starting to throw in, slide and run to the side here. That's your best bet to get away from that blast as soon as possible.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem.
That's a good tip.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll explain something about scopes as well. So when you have an optic on your weapon, right, the time between kind of a shoulder position and an aiming down sight is delayed by about 200 milliseconds, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're competing in the milliseconds of trying to peek fast enough, it can be the difference between success and of hitting the guy and the failure of missing. That is if the hit retch works, but that's out of our control. So on the side note, you can shoot through this in Shops. Wait, that's the side. Yeah, like this. So basically, you shoot to the side. So I noticed. Were you playing Shops a lot, or was it EBT playing Shops?
It was EPT.
I was.
Okay, so you were dying a lot from like this guy over here, right? Or is he
Yeah.
A skinny? Or sorry, A heaven.
No, I got killed by the guy.
Facepalm was getting killed from A Heaven a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Facepalm was the one A Heaven.
So what they were doing was kind of interesting. What they were doing was throwing a Molotov across, throwing it up here, and then they would have a guy run,
Inside.
slide, and then go up, and then watch. And watch his own back like that. He could shoot through here, he locked down all of Alpha through here. It's pretty effective. So it might be something to try out for the next scrim next week on this map. So, in general, in terms of most lanes, while it's generally good to be somewhat passive, that can be a very good strength. It can be kind of a unique part of the map, or a unique part of your playstyle. When it comes to overall gameplay of the map and to be successful, it's important not to be too slow to a map, or to a lane, for example. So if I'm playing, let's say I want to play C-scanning, and I want to play kind of Charlie side, instead of, you know, running, running around, running at the speed of sound, instead of like sitting at Charlie like right here or something and watching for people coming out, you don't want to sit back here and kind of wait, right? Because when you leave, or you don't play aggressive in a spot like this, you are leaving the enemy open to taking it for advantage and flanking you and killing you a bunch. And that's what happened almost every round. Was someone would die, which that's going to happen. You know, that's happened. It's part of life. But you were leaving lanes open, and they would take advantage of these little peak angles that would be very, very crucial and critical for success. And when you lose those, and you know, it's going to happen with everybody. Everyone loses lanes. But the thing is, when you lose a lane, the important part is to kind of, when you hear that, you immediately got to turn around and you got to aim at it and be ready to shoot. Because if someone dies Barber, right? If you're playing on Bravo, and you hear a guy if you're playing White Truck, and your guy dies in Barber, you flip around, you gotta be ready to shoot immediately. You can't be going, maybe, because by the time you think to look over it, you're dead. You gotta be aimed over and ready to shoot. The big thing they were actually doing was doing a similar strat that Link kind of taught me, where they would, well, I've seen it at least once, where they would kind of smoke maybe back here. They'd smoke this side here, and while Vitreous, you definitely had this like kind of lane right here locked down, you didn't have this left lane right here locked down, and it was really easy for them to kind of push this left side, your left, their right, push up, kill the guy here, and then do damage and stuff. And when you're kind of in here, it's really hard to see across in sniper building over there. So that happened quite a bit.
Yeah, after I got that first pick across, they just smoked it almost every round afterwards, and that was so annoying. So I tried going seaside, and then there was always one guy that would flank me from Charlie.
If you're getting smoked out on the right side there, instead of just taking a sniper rifle and just kind of waiting for the smoke to dissipate, take a M16 and run up there and kind of play around with them. Because I guarantee you, if you're just sniping every single round and you don't snipe, it's going to throw their strategy off, and you could get some good frags and even win the round. Something else to know about the hour counts and stuff. I know it seems like they may be playing for like a century with like 1,000 hours and stuff. That stuff takes no time at all. Literally, when you scrim a lot and you start playing quite a bit like that, you'll get hundreds of hours in not too much. Maybe like a couple weeks, month, you know, once you guys start scrimming quite a bit. So I know it seems like a lot right now, but once you guys kind of get used to the swing of the scrims and stuff, you'll be finding that high hour counts aren't really that important. It's more about what the guy is actually able to do. So if you want to, we can do a little practice in here of everybody basically playing Charlie or the other side and trying to nade each other. I'm practicing the grenade though. And again, to do that, as a reminder, in case you missed, to do that you press W, Shift, while you're running. You'll press the right mouse button with the grenade. You'll automatically start pulling the grenade, and you'll throw it.
Alright, let's do it.
You guys done doing the scrim against those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.